rap in Spanish, easily crosses borders. One of the most popular Spanish-language rappers is Aldo Villegas. He's better known as Boca Floja, or Loose Mouth. Boca Floja has been a fixture in Mexico City's hip-hop scene since the mid-1990s, and as Mary Stuckey reports, he's acquired a huge following in Mexico and the U.S.
When he started out, Boca Floja says he was not particularly interested in politics or social change, which are now constants in his music. In the beginning, he just liked the beat.
The first time I wrote a rhyme, I was probably like around 13, 14 years, and my first demos were made when I was 17, 18 years old. When I was like 19 or 20, I started to travel a little bit, to be more aware about the social and political issues in the world.
That's when Boca Floja started including sharp political and social messages against racism, oppression, and economic inequality. Descoloniza tu alma, rebélate y libérate, que aquí queda mucho por hacer, desetiquétate, levántate, cuestiónate. This single is called Opción B, or Option B. The lyrics translate, decolonize your soul, recognize your power, open your eyes.
Revolucionate, reconoce tu poder y abre los ojos bien. No te equivoques, no te confundas, no. La historia se remonta al mismo barco, mismo calabozo a diario, puerto diferente, pero misma cara blanca. El adversario, ellos compraron la epidemia para llenarnos cada vena con euforia, cada roca en tu memoria, cada bala en cada espalda, en cada historia, cada cual en cada celda, encadenado y trabajando sin salario.
We were the first collective in Mexico and one of the first in Latin America to use hip hop on a different way. Like, we want to build and connect with different artists all over the hemisphere.
This month, Boca Floja will release a compilation album featuring artists and producers from across North and South America and the Caribbean, including the United States.
The main objective is to produce a cultural exchange between the different marginalized communities, using hip-hop culture as a way to communicate and create art and share knowledge.
These days, Boca Floja spends a lot of time in the United States, where his reputation is growing. He founded an artistic collective that organizes concerts, spoken word events, and community dialogues in New York and California, as well as Mexico. He's also published a collection of poems, one of the first literary books from Mexico's hip-hop generation.
With the book, it was important to let people know, especially here in Mexico, that some of the poets from the hip-hop generation were able to be at certain academic level. Also, it was a way to motivate young kids from the barrios, from the ghettos, to be more familiar with reading, with lecture.
His fans did seem motivated at Boca Floja's recent concert in Mexico City, where they mobbed him for autographs. But despite his wide popularity, Boca Floja says he's always conscious of hip-hop's roots among the poor and marginalized. For The World, I'm Mary Stuckey, Mexico City.
25 años después hice un recuento, comencé a reflexionar cada momento, cada instante de tiempo transcurrido, valorar lo conseguido, también lo que un día tuve y hoy lo tengo en el olvido. Amigos puedo bien contarlos con los dedos de ambas manos, y creo que yo podré contar con ellos hasta que seamos ancianos. Familia tengo poca.
Chris Wilson contributed to that story, and you can see some of Chris's photos of Boca Floja at our website, theworld.org. From the Nan and Bill Harris studios at WGBH in Boston, I'm Marco Werman. Thank you for listening.
Detesto a los idiotas que discriminan mujeres vegetales en mi plato de comida.
The World is a co-production of the BBC World Service, PRI, and WGBH Boston, supported in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the National Science Foundation, where discoveries begin, NSF.gov, the United States Institute of Peace, helping to prevent, manage, and resolve violent international conflict, online at usip.org, and the PRI Program Fund, whose donors support the critical work of the nonprofit sector. Contributors include the Ford Foundation and the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world. macfound.org.
PRI, Public Radio International.